dear mate Jennifer Lopez, Summerflex babes.
Listen, do you know what? This is very Jennifer Lopez, to be quite honest. Yeah, I can see it in the Bronx.
In the Bronx?
Yeah, in the Bronx. I'm sitting on the stoop in your vest.
Yeah, in my vest. And that is actually, do you know what? It wasn't that bad. I thought it was actually quite good.
Oh.
Yeah, bitch. I like it. I like it. Hello, everyone. Hello, C.
Hi. How you doing?
I'm good. I've missed you.
I would say, obviously, I've missed you. Obviously.
Oh.
Obviously.
Sounds like you're going to come up with a disclaimer.
No, I was going to say, but I saw you in the flesh, live and direct, last week, because what were we doing, Sareta? What were we doing?
You little sneaks. Me talking about my birthday and people like, so what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. Danny's surprising me with something. Probably dinner. Lo and behold, who do I see coming in? Surprise!
So many surprises.
You got me. I was not expecting it. And it was my actual second ever birthday party ever in my whole entire 40 years of being on this planet.
Gosh.
Yes, I don't do birthday parties because I'm always like, no one's going to turn up. Why is everyone turning up for me? And I had one birthday party when I was a kid. So 2.
That's so cute. That is so cute.
But yeah, thank you. It was lovely to see you on my birthday.
It was lovely to be there, even though it was a treacherous journey from the train station to the venue. So, yeah, I was supposed to be with my other half, and stuff happened, so he couldn't come. So, just for the benefit of the listeners, I had to walk from, what station was it? High Street, Kensington, or South Kensington or something, like down some deserted streets of West London, which is not my main choice of area to frequent. And because I'm a North London girl, and it was like super scary.
Wait, why are you trying to act like I had a birthday party in the ghetto? One, South Kensington, very bougie. It was a
no.
bar.
I'm not saying that at all. It was incredibly bougie. It was like super bougie. But I think the streets were just deserted. There were people obviously outside pubs and stuff. There were people there, but then as I was walking along these magnolia-lined, beautiful streets from the train station, and all these amazing townhouses, and trying to do shortcuts so I could get there as quick as possible because obviously I was running late, I was just looking over my shoulder a little bit. I was like, who's following me? But nobody was following me because it obviously was super safe and I got there fine. But
you did.
It was a little bit scary.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There ended my story.
To do it in Essex next time.
Or in my house.
Then you would have trouble.
No, but you live in a nice part.
True, and I guess you would drive, so it's fine.
Exactly.
All right, next year, 41. Party!
Birthday party number 3.
Well, start as you mean to go on. So now I'm going to have a party every single year.
And why not?
A surprise party every single year that I organise. Surprise! Oh, I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
How are you, girl? How's your week been? What you been doing?
I've been enjoying the sunshine. Here in London, it's been incredible. It's like summer almost. It's, oh my gosh. So I took a friend of mine who also works from home just sent me a message and was like, yeah, let's do a walk. Let's go for a walk. And I did it. We went for a walk in the sun. Like, hello.
Getting that vitamin D.
It was incredible. Incredible. Just, this is what I've been missing. Just, feeling that heat, getting a bit of fresh air, actually taking a physical lunch break. I'm all for that going forward. So, I've been mostly enjoying the sunshine, and it's been putting a smile on my face. I've been letting my kids get away with murder because the sun's shining. You know, you're a little bit more tolerant of things when the sun's shining. Yeah. Hubs and I haven't had as many arguments.
We can not going to say romance.
0, but ish. But I've just been walking around with a smile on my face because the sun is here, and it helps me forget about all the crazy stuff that's going on in the world at the moment.
This is what we need in London. I say London as in it's the whole of the UK. But this is what we need in the UK. We need sunshine.
We do.
And light. And vitamin C. And then just imagine how happy we would be. Kind of like how it would be in Jamaica. I don't know why that was a Jamaican dance. Jennifer Lopez, can you stop doing Jamaican dances? Channeling the wrong place. But have you seen?
Gulp.
All the controversy in Jamaica with Wills and Kate visiting. I don't really understand, because I was like, Jamaica's not, aren't they independent? I thought they were independent. Why they gotta go there? What they gotta go there for?
Well, they're still part of the Commonwealth, right? So the Queen is still their head of state.
I don't really get that. How can you be independent? What's the independence bit? And then they're doing things on their own, not getting any money, but the Queen is still queening.
I know, I'm very aware that Jamaica became independent 60 years ago. I don't know, something like that. And I still don't understand what it means, like why Kate and Wills have to keep going and visiting. So I'm kind of like you. I don't know enough about the history as to why. A cursory Google search could probably help us out a lot right now. Yeah. But, I don't know. I don't understand. All I do understand is that despite the amount of sun these lot have in Jamaica, it's still not making them happy to see Wills and Kate arriving.
Well, they're arriving with the greyness. And I'm like, do you know what? Don't you go taking your greyness to a place of wonderful, richly melanated colour and family. But they've received quite a lot of harshness with there's been images of Kate shaking hands through a fence.
Oh my gosh.
However,
chain fence.
Disclaimer, apparently the venue is in a sports stadium or something, so it has a fence. And people are like, but the way you've angled the pictures makes it look worse. I'm like, but just bring everyone in anyway, right? Just bring everyone in. It doesn't really matter. You don't need to be shaking hands through the fence. And some people are like, kids are having to take the day off school and get clothes to look presentable, and then they're just putting their hand through the gate and not even going to meet them or anything like that.
Wow. Wow.
Man, stop embarrassing yourself and just stay home. And if you're going to go to Jamaica, just go on holiday and pay and, do some touristy things to boost their economy and stuff like that. Don't be upsetting the locals, as anyone should not go upsetting locals when they go to a different country.
This is very true.
Common sense.
It's basic 101. But I also do think that they were set up. It was a setup, because that photo...
Infiltration.
That picture of Kate with her adoring fans at the chainmail fence... Like that didn't need to be taken from that angle. The angle did make it look like she was in Guantanamo Bay. It was like not done in the best way it could have been done. So I think there was someone who took that picture and was like, I'm going to get these guys.
But there was no getting around the other picture. Now, have you seen the other picture of them in the Jeep? In their standing in the Jeep being driven in his white military gear, and her in
the
her
one
dress.
that the Queen was driven in however many years ago. Like, come on, guys, do better.
Who is their PR? They need some help.
Know. I'm telling you, it's sabotage. They've got someone inside who is trying to just bring about their downfall.
The thing is, if they had a bit more common sense and are a bit more down with the folk who live in the real world, then they would know that appearances is everything, and it's not a good look, Kates and Wills. It's not a good look.
It's not a good look at all.
It's not.
But, oh well.
Yeah. You live and you learn, and maybe one day they'll put some respect on these Caribbean islands and African countries, and just, you know, play it down, man. Go and humble yourself and go and visit these places. Not just do this whole stupid traditional nonsense, colonial, we are owning you and bow down to us kind of rubbish.
Yeah. And give a wholehearted apology, because this, whatever he gave, was not a wholehearted apology for the wrongs of colonialism.
His ancestors, like what, great-grandparents, grandparents? It wasn't even that far back.
I'm saying. But yeah, so forget about them. But what we do need to talk about are some regal high society folks that we can get behind. Bridgerton. By the time this comes out, episode 1 will have aired and we will have been watching it.
Yes. I'm actually looking forward to it. I want to see some black royalty.
Listen, and this time round they've got South Asians in the mix as well. They've got the 2 new characters, Kate and Edwina Sharma. Even got South Asian surname, like Hindu surname, and they're dark-skinned Asian actors as well.
Amazing! I'm loving the diversity, not the usual shadism type things that we usually get thrown into the mix just for token gestures. But I love it. I love it.
Exactamundo.
So speaking of which, I came across an article, which is a bit of fun. I'm not going to lie, it's a bit of fun. But you can compare your star sign to Bridgerton characters.
Ooh.
I know. And I thought it'd be fun if we did it. Okay. So, what's your name? Where you come from? What's your star sign? What's your star sign, babe? Aries. Okay, so let me have a look. Aries. Right. Aries. Oh, you could be Anthony Bridgerton. He was all right. He was a bit naughty in the programme, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a bit naughty. But he's also the star of season 2, so we're going to be able to see his character arc. Like he might develop into.
So Anthony, for those who haven't watched, Anthony is the oldest sibling of the Bridgerton clan, who are like the main family in Bridgerton. What does it say on it? It says, Anthony is the oldest sibling of the Bridgerton clan, which means he can act bossy all the time. I like this. Is a relatable sentiment that describes every ram. So that's Aries. So the astronomist, the person that does star signs, Anthony needs to control the lives of his family and own backfires swiftly, because he learns not to go to battle with those he cares about and let them make their own decisions, whether they're good or bad. See, let people live their lives and learn their own life lessons. See.
Okay.
Does this sound like you?
Yeah. So I do like to be in control. I do like to support the people around me to make the right decisions. You could put it that way. Yeah. Okay. But maybe I could take a little bit of a step back. I like Anthony Bridgerton.
Okay.
Anyway, who are you? Are we done with Anthony and Aries, or can we move on, please?
Yeah, we can move on. So me, as you should know, because you were at my party last week.
Yes, I know. Pisces.
Yeah. I could be Daphne.
How do you get to be Daphne and I get Anthony?
Because I'm sweet and whimsical and a dreamer of true love and all those things. So it says, being a true believer in love and happy ever afters, Daphne won't settle for anything less than the ideal when it comes to romance. Aww, I know, right? I should have like cartoon birds flying around my head.
Butterflies, yeah.
Lisa Stardust, that's an amazing name, says, like most Pisces, she has an open heart and is looking for an intense partnership that transcends time.
Oh,
I like that one. I'm going to take that one. I'm going to run with that one.
Yeah, that's way nicer than mine, but it was your birthday, so we'll let you have that.
Well, I thought it was fun, and I'm definitely going to be watching Bridgerton because I loved the first season. It was so scandalous.
It was.
Hot. A bit hot.
That was very J-Lo. Hot.
I know.
Yeah.
Hot.
Yeah. But we don't have the Duke this time round, do we? He's gone.
No.
But that's okay. That's okay.
He might.
One in, one out.
In the crowd. Oh, do you know what? That reminds me of The Walking Dead. I used to get so mad about that when they killed off one black character. Because you would know where they were going because they would introduce a black character and you're like, man, you're going to kill off one of us again. Lo and behold, they killed off Chris. Sorry, no spoilers, but you should have watched it. But I was mad when they killed Chris. Everybody hates Chris, had to die. For what? Just because you introduced another black character? I think not. I protest. I protest. Okay.
Yeah,
anyway, today on the show, we have another guest.
Yay!
Yes.
Who've we got?
We have Katty Janneh. And Katty Janneh, I'm going to get the pronunciation right. I'm going to ask her when she comes on. Is the founder of the Realness in Business, which supports creative entrepreneurs to be as proficient in running their business as they are in honing their craft. Fancy pants.
Sounds good.
So, yeah, should we let her in?
Let's do it.
Hello.
How is you?
All right, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good. Very good.
I'm good. I was just saying I'm channeling Jennifer Lopez today. Jenny from the Block.
Make it work. Make it work.
I love how we're all going to get so much trouble for these
accent. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, it's terrible. Let's just let that go. Let's let that go. But I did just introduce you to our lovely audience just a second ago, saying that you are a business coach who supports creative entrepreneurs as a multifaceted creative. You have experience in the crafts, fashion, and retail to create business courses and workshops for creatives who recognize that they need to get real about business, the business side of things, and are going to have success on their own terms. Amazing.
Thank you.
Simply amazing.
That's the idea. That's the goal. Yes. Just comes from the thing of just fed up of being broke.
Well. I was going to say love don't cost a thing, but
listen, you're not letting this J-Lo theme go. Wow.
Material goods do.
But sometimes it's not even about material things. Most times it's just like, you know what? I don't want to have to worry about bills this month.
Yeah, of
course.
The
gift of that is actually, I can actually afford to take a day off and not think, what have I got to do? What have I got to do? I think people think it's we want to earn money because we want to, I ain't going to lie. I like Louis Vuitton. If I had the opportunity to go and get something, I would. But that ain't the goal. It's like, I want to be able to do things whenever I like. I want to take myself off for a weekend. I can. I can spend a day walking around the park and not worry about all the work I've got to do. I can. Right. And not like, you can choose your obligations. And and unfortunately, we're in an environment where our finances end up driving a lot of our decision making, which isn't fair to a lot of us, and and especially creatives, we get a bit like, oh no, we shouldn't really charge. It's like, how much did you spend on that course to learn that craft? and you don't want to charge.
Right.
Like,
but going back to your point about if you want to take a day off and actually afford to still pay your bills, it's funny, as entrepreneurs, do people actually book holidays? Do you have time off? Because again, if you don't work, you may not have the money. As an entrepreneur or as a freelancer, it's like you don't get holiday pay or anything like that. So you got to be making the money to be able to kind of, be able to do those things.
Exactly. So it's one of the things I sort of talk about in my pricing workshops. It's like, well, you don't know what life is around the corner. Like I did a workshop with a craft festival. They have a find a maker membership scheme, and one of the things I'd mentioned was about, well, how often do you actually want to work? And because you are working for yourself, you haven't got any necessarily a massive cushion to fall back on unless you've been born with a silver spoon in your mouth. What if something comes up? What if you're having a baby? What if unfortunately you get ill and you have to take longer time off than you expected? And one of the participants was like, actually, I have to actually go in for an operation and I have to be off for 12 weeks. And I am thinking about, what am I going to do? So it's like, if you only want to work, say, I don't know, 36 weeks of the year, then what do you need to earn in those 36 weeks so that you can have those 12 weeks off? It might be you want to make sure that some holidays I can be there present for my children. Christmas, it might be, I don't know, you want to go off and see the family in the Caribbean or Africa for a month and get out of the flipping winter. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if we want, those things will help your quality of life. How does your business have to run for you in order to make that happen? Because the business is for you, not for the business to run you.
It's so true.
And since we're on the subject, we might as well continue with it. But I am very, very conscious because I was working for myself for a bit. So I was employed and then I went to self-employed and now I'm back employed again. But while I was employed, I was constantly questioning myself around, am I able to charge this much for the service that I'm providing? Because I was doubting my ability. I was comparing myself to other people and they've got more years experience in this, so people are going to be paying for that, and how can I add the value that they're going to add? And just doubting myself all the time. And I think that is something that there are gender differences, and as women we've been taught that our specialisms maybe lie in other areas than where we've chosen to focus our attention. So there's that as well. But the price has to be right course is, as you say, all about making sure that we price ourselves appropriately and in accordance with the life that we want to have. So can you tell us a little bit more about why for you this was something that you really wanted to address and why you wanted to make sure that everyone else was able to learn from what it is that you've been through?
When I started up my millinery business, that we're talking 2002, and I was like, okay, I find a good business course, and so I know what I've got to do. I was very like, I've got to do this, and then I've got to do that, and then I've got to do that. And the sort of language, if you like, around creatives at that time was like, you've got to start small, you've got to start humble, and then as you grow or you get the press, then you can start saying, charging this, that, and the other. And it wasn't about, you weren't necessarily made to think about what you needed to cover. It was like, what are you going to be able to make because you're so small, as opposed to you need to start. And then it was like cash flow. How are you going to manage your cash flow? And it was like, well, part of that is making sure I manage my costs, but that didn't really come up. It was more about the business costs. And you're like, you've got to try and make a name for yourself. And I remember first bespoke order, if you like, it was for a lady who church hat, and I completely undercharged. I think I maybe covered my fabric costs. Anyway, made the hat. I get to the house. Now, I make good hats. I learned to make hats from the Queen Mother's milliner. I know how to stitch, right? I stitch. People think I've glued that stuff on. I can stitch. You don't see my stitches. When I was on it, right? Ooh. So I've made this really good hat. I get there. The husband comes in and he's looking and he went, "You paid how much for that?" And laughs.
What, in a good way or bad way or what? Or like you got a good deal?
In a bad way. You paid for that. And I thought,
in front of your face.
In front of my face. And I thought, oh no, I'm in your house. But no, I gave him my look that said, this may be your house, but bitch, you better leave. And he did. And I thought, after that, no. I cannot. I let that happen by not pricing myself correctly. And that was the third time I'd actually done it to myself. And at that point I thought, no. To the point where someone laughs. It's like, for whatever reason, he didn't appreciate the work that had gone into that hat. The woman came back to me again wanting a hat. And by then it was like, oh no, my prices have gone up. Good. And then she's like, no, we can talk and maybe we can do because I've got other ladies in the church, so maybe we can do a little deal. And I was like, no, because the price is the price. I didn't even follow it up. I thought, you don't want to pay it. I understand. I almost trained you to take that shitty price I did before. Mm-hmm. I'll just take the hit. I'd rather do that than make the hat and a loss. I thought, I'm not doing that to myself again. If I can be a student and still charge nearly £200 for a hat, for someone in business, by then, I can charge more because I've worked for it, And that's the messaging I wanted to get out to other people that join my workshops or sign up to a course. Because it's like, that's time, that's energy. It's, you're taking away time from maybe spending with your loved ones. There is a cost with that. So it needs to be worthwhile for you. Then it's like, okay, this was all worth it. And then you can circulate that back round to your family, to your friends, to other businesses that you want to support. I hate it. All my friends doing really well, and I'd love to be able to buy their stuff. And it's like, I couldn't do it.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like there's almost a bit of, well, for me anyway, a teeny bit of guilt for receiving money for something that I enjoy. And I'm like, but have you been conditioned to just hate every single job? I mean, if you enjoy something and you're good at it, like my content creation days, it's just like, can you make me something? I've got no budget though. And it's like, but it's my work. So I know I'm enjoying it, but I'm actually taking the time. It's my resources. I've paid for courses to go on. I've paid for the software on my computer. I could be doing something else. And yeah, you have to just be honest and get your money.
Exactly. And I think a lot of these companies, if you like, forget that getting someone to have joy from what you do, and to the point where they desire what it is you're promoting for them, is a valuable asset. I mean, all right, yeah, maybe they feel like they can't monetize, they can't calculate, how much money that came in from that one post. But who knows? Someone's logged that in. There's stuff I remembered about. I don't drink alcohol, but I remember the wines thing that you did, a collaboration you did a little while ago.
Most Wanted.
That's it, Most Wanted. I knew it was M something. I couldn't remember. Brain fog again. Right, but I remember that, and it was like, that was funny as fuck. Now, I don't drink, but I remember, I was like, oh, that's funny. Maybe that's something for my husband, because he likes some wine,
Okay,
and maybe I won't buy straight away. I'm someone, I can lurk for years, and then I'll buy something. I'm quite happy to take my time. Yeah, I see you. Yeah, I'll watch you. See you soon.
That's true. The return, and that's the thing with marketing and stuff, the return doesn't have to be instant. It's like planting the seed, even if it is like subconsciously or whatever, but it's like that will stay with you inside until you need it. And you're like,
thank you.
Yeah, that's the person. Yeah. So yeah, I like that. Shout out to Most Wanted. I do love that. They're a good friend.
They're all right. You're not going to get sued or nothing, right?
No.
But can we take it back, and start somewhere near the beginning? Because you are West African sister. So your roots are in the Gambia, and shout out to the Gambia, because I know so many people like this. Gambia, side note, Gambia is one of those places where I didn't really know a lot about it when I was younger. And then when I got to about 20, early 20s, suddenly people were taking themselves off to the Gambia. And oh my God, it's so amazing. It's like this undiscovered beauty. And it became hotspot. And now it's hot, right? It's up there. It's like Ghana, Gambia, Nigeria. But anyway, so yeah, shout out West Africa. But you're the child of Gambian immigrants into this country. And I know what West African parents are like, what those ones who came over are like, and the fact that they want you to study, get your qualification, get yourself a good job, be stable, secure, all of that kind of stuff. And then here's Katty, creative Katty, who is deciding that she wants to do all of this wacky, and it's not wacky, but could be perceived as like wacky, like left field stuff. How did that go down? Like, I just want to understand what the process was and how you managed to get to the point where you were charging £200 for a hat while you were studying.
Well, yeah. Well, you probably know the was it maybe 4 or 5 certain jobs that any parent's going to be. So it was going to be either doctor, lawyer, I think it was engineer. What was it? And then computers started coming about. So there was a lot of thing about databases, even though it was like just entering stuff on the computer. Anyway, so I was to be the doctor. My sister, because it was just me and her at the time, was to be the solicitor.
Okay.
But I decided to pretend that I hated the sight of blood, so that kiboshed that. And then we had the careers talk, probably a bit too young, but she was like, you need to think about these things because, you have the talk. You have to work twice as hard for half as little. I really hope parents have stopped saying that shit because it's fake as fuck. Anyway, so she was like, what are you going to do with yourself? And I was like, well, I don't want to be either of those. And so I was saying, I'll be a secretary because they're always needed. And she was like, no, daughter of mine's going to be a what? And then having late nights on the couch working with you ain't doing that kind of thing. And I thought, okay. Because 9 to 5 had just come out, that film with Dolly Parton. So I think that's where she was just like, oh, hell no kind of thing. And then I thought, I like drawing. So I was like, I'm really good at art. I'll be an artist. She went, they don't make any money until they're dead. Okay, next one. And I thought, author. And then she was like, how many books by black people have you seen published? Then I said TV presenter, and then she just looked at me like, girl. Because then it was only 4 TV channels, and it was literally Trevor McDonald with the news at 10, Lenny Henry, and Moira Stewart on the news. Those were the only black people. Did I see any Indian or even Asian people? So I guess she had a point. And then I saw a fashion competition. It was Barclays Bank, actually. I remember because I was a bit shocked at how far I'd gone. And you had to design a outfit for a celebrity. So I chose Grace Jones because A View to a Kill had come out and everyone was going, oh, Grace, like, wow, and all this. So I designed an outfit and I got to the regional finals of this kids competition.
Okay,
which was for the south of my school was like, look at one of our students. What, a primary school? Like you're paying they milked it. I was like, I'm already in secondary school. What are you talking about? I'm gone.
Oh, the
Yeah. But this is how young my mum had this conversation with me. I hadn't got to secondary school yet. And so anyway, I did really well on this, and she was like, oh, and we were like, oh, and I was like, I think I want to be a fashion designer. And she was like, okay, creative. People need clothes. You can make money by selling these clothes. Okay, I will find out what you need to do. And then that was it. Yeah.
Wow.
So I think if it hadn't had a monetary value, she would have kiboshed it. Like my sister wanted to be a dancer and she was having none of it. She got into a college and she kiboshed it. Wouldn't sign the papers, wouldn't sign the grant papers, and kiboshed it. She was having none of it. Even though my sister had quite a solid plan as to how she wanted to see if she could get into the West End, doing dancing, and eventually do a PGCE and maybe start teaching it, maybe open her own school. Wow. She had, but my mum was just, she saw what, I don't know about in your cultures, but like in Gambia, when it's someone has a christening or a wedding, then people come dance, to entertain, and then bring the hat round for money kind of thing. And I think that's what she had in her brain, as opposed to sit down with your daughter and think, what are you going to do with it? Yeah. She just saw that and just thought, no. So, yeah, I lucked out. So yes, that's how it got the approval.
Wow. Well, at least you got the support in the end.
Yes.
In the end.
Yes.
In the end.
Yeah.
Katty Janneh is the founder of the Realness in Business, which supports creative entrepreneurs to be as proficient in running their business as they are in honing their craft. Katty is a business coach who supports creative entrepreneurs. As a multifaceted creative, she is used her experience in crafts, fashion and retail to create business courses and workshops for creatives who recognise that they need to get real about the business side of things if they're going to have success on their terms. Katty has helped many to transition into the career of their dreams and generate income to work to live, not the other way round. We welcome Katty on today's episode of Women Who Rebrand.
Majority of the time, I think probably 90% of the time when I see you, you've got the head wrap on. Is that a nod to those fashion days or the hat making, or like how did this signature look come about?
Well, to be honest, it's a bit of a lazy thing because of my hair. I haven't always had the greatest relationship with my hair. There was I think I was about 4 or 5. The tradition is, my family, I'm a Muslim family, and the idea is when you're born and you're christened, your head is shaved. There was complications when I was born, so that never happened to me. So got to about 4 or 5, and you get the aunts coming over, and it was like, she hasn't had her hair done, she's got to be done. But I was 5 by then. I was like, but I've got hair. They want to take away my hair? No. I hid. I managed to hide. We were in a Georgian townhouse. It was at the Gambian embassy. We used to go and hang out because we knew people there. I hid in this house. I managed to hide for 2 hours to avoid them cutting my hair. It's like, okay, we've got to find a new location and move to another part of the house. I was like, they are not touching my hair. But they found me and shaved it all off.
No.
I was just like, ugh. So I've always had a thing about covering my head where my hair's plait or put extensions in. I always had my hair wrapped. When I had my hat business, I was always wearing a hat. But then, funnily enough, when I closed the studio down, I haven't worn a hat since. I've just stuck to head wraps. I've kept my hats. I haven't got rid of them. But for some reason, I felt a bit of a way about them. Even now, I'm actually looking at some of the blocks I've kept. I mean, I feel like I'll do it at some point. But I think, I don't know if it's like reclaiming my roots back in a way, because I thought school could be a bit traumatic. So anything to kind of that remotely seemed African, I was just like, for a very long time, just like, I already have the difference. Let me not add more to it, because it was just so stressful and negative for me. But then it's like, I love it. The colours, I love my colour now. So it's I like wearing it. Like every day, I just have something on now. I do enjoy it. It's not like to hide myself, but part of it is like lazy. Like I don't know. I mean, I've got the plaits to take out. They're still on if I take this off. Hey, so part lazy, but part an excuse to wear some good colour. So yeah,
it looks good on you.
Thank you.
It does. I do love a good head wrap. But for me, it's sometimes it's about colour, but yeah, sometimes it's just to hide the mess underneath, because I'm like, I can't.
You're messy. Mine is messy.
I feel you.
You had your hat business or millinery, is that right? Is it millinery business?
Yeah.
So you were doing your fashion thing, you were creating hats, successful business, and then you closed it down. So what was that about, and what made you transition from running your own business, producing a product, to then running your own business but delivering a service, supporting other people to produce a product or deliver a service?
Well, with the millinery business, it didn't get to the stage where I could go to it completely full time. But I managed to at least keep it going. I was doing it for about 15 years. So I found what I thought was a happy balance. But then, I guess 2013, had a breakdown, basically. Things weren't going very well and got very, very low. To the point where I was like, I've got to get some help, because I was going to do something a bit stupid. And so I did reach out and do that. And I went to kind of start things again, because I thought, oh, maybe that's it. And then I thought, I think I'm doing this now because I kept saying that this was what I was going to do. This is what I want. But then it got to a point where it was like, it's done. It's like, I've learned so many other skills and things. This isn't when I thought about my future ahead, it didn't include the hats. And I thought, well, it got to a point where I felt like I was flogging a dead horse. And so I thought, let this go now. I know I'm going to have my own business again doing something, because there's no way of having all that time, having your own autonomy on so much of your life, to go back and can then completely let it go. I knew I'd have something again. I just didn't know what. And I thought, let me just take a break. So in my mind, I thought, a good 2 years, I'm going to do things I wanted to do, like, get on an airplane, because I hadn't travelled anywhere for about 10 years.
Wow.
If I took time off, it was to do an exhibition. It wasn't like let me rest. It was just like, I'll rest later, that kind of bullshit. Mm-hmm. And then it took about 6 months from closing, and I had the idea for the Realness in business, and I thought, well, it's my clock. If I want to do it now rather than 2 years, let me start working on it now. So I started plotting on ideas, because people were still asking me advice about business, and I thought, what, even though I closed it, even by the end it wasn't doing as well as I should have liked, but you still want to know? And someone was like, well, it's not about your results, it's your journey. And that's what people responded to, how you responded to your own journey and what you got out of it and the things you've done. That's what people were asking you about, not how much profit. No one's ever asked me about my money. So I thought, okay, let me do this. This is something I know, I want to use it, so let me work on it. I took my time, but yeah, that's how it kind of started.
I love that. And it's so interesting, because exactly what you've said about you, as far as you were concerned, your business wasn't doing as great as you had thought or hoped it would be doing at that point. But that's not what people see. You have that information. Other people don't have that information. So as far as they're concerned, you've chased your dreams, and you've made it. You're earning money by doing something that you love, and you're doing it really well. And that's what they see. That's what they want a piece of. And I think we think people observing us have all of the information that we have in our minds. Mm-hmm. We always seem to think that, but they don't. They know maybe 20% of what we're going through, what we're dealing with. And the more we start to realise that we have our own different perspectives, you obviously, you look in the mirror, you see yourself, you're living it. Your partner could be living in the same house as you, but they've got a different perspective on what you're doing as well. And that proximity is so close, but still the difference in what you're seeing can be massive. So yeah, I just feel we more and more just need to let go of the fact that we think we know what's in other people's heads, because we just don't.
Yeah, definitely.
But also, when a business ceases to exist or stop, it doesn't equate to failure. It doesn't mean
at all
you went bankrupt and everything was rubbish and la la la. It just means that journey came to an end, and you just decided to move on to the next journey, get on the next train.
And it's my clock.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yeah, it was right for that time of the period of your life. now past just new, what's next? Within your business, you have started to create social events such as afternoon tea, where you bring women together to socialize and talk about their business. It's kind of like networking with a twist. When I started out, it did actually fill me with dread. I hated it. Believe it or not, I don't like talking to people.
Do you know, I actually believe you. I believe you. You know why? I found this quote and I thought it summed it up. I think I did post it in my grid. It was a little while ago.
Oh, what was it?
About how it was like someone is introverted yet extroverted, and it's only when they're around people that bring them peace that they become extroverted.
Yep.
And when I read that, because I was like, but I have a laugh, but there's times where it's just like, you won't know I'm there, or you think I've got the ump because I'm just.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
or
no,
shy,
it's because
stuck up.
High fives. Like, I want to high five you so much.
It's like, until I feel safe in this environment, you ain't hearing a peep out of me because I need to feel secure. So I totally believe you when you say that. And I think people think, no, you just got to do this a bit more. And it's like, no. Until I feel comfortable around you, you're not getting any of me. You're not getting my energy.
Right. Why am I sharing my energy with people I don't know? What will do with my energy?
Mm-hmm.
So, as a self-confessed introvert, how can people with shyness or introvertedness come to one of your events? What should they do? Do you have any sort of tips? Obviously, it's like the whole, okay, let's suss each other out first, that kind of warming up to people. But how would you give someone advice about how to just network, bitch? Just network.
I mean, I have to be honest, I do find it very difficult, and I can't say that I've found my way of doing it yet. I mean, afternoon tea, I invited every single person I invite. Is someone I extended an invitation to. I didn't advertise it, I didn't promote it, because I thought, well, I've made all these connections online, and most of them, I haven't met in person, and that's all that I wanted to achieve. And I thought, because of all the circles we're kind of in, it sort of organically is filled with people that are on the same page. So I thought, if we all coming together, it's going to be fine, because there's not necessarily someone outside of it that's going to disrupt that or make it uncomfortable. And then from that, and how the response to people when we all posted our pictures, and I thought, well, that's telling me that potentially there's other people that are connecting to all our different feeds and would probably like to have that same experience again. And so that's what I thought. I think curating these kind of events and in environments that will have these lovely conversations from people can be a good thing, because even though, yes, I'm the old school of you could do it yourself, strong black woman, lie, but that was the rhetoric we got taught, and it's like, actually, I do need people. I just have to be I'm just selective of who those people are. I have to be, because of the way all of us have to be, because of the environments that we are forced to exist in. So these events are all about creating nice, warm ones where everyone can come and just be. If you are doing the work, you get it, and have, you're open to meeting new people, you're welcome. If you can't do that, please don't buy a ticket, because I will tell you about yourself.
I'm loving that. So I'm definitely one for surrounding myself with good people, positive vibes, because it does make a difference. It absolutely does. And even to the point of, some people might have friends that you're like, oh, I have to worry about inviting her to that, and just take her a pinch of salt, and then you have to apologize or even say something on their behalf. That's like, come on, how many red flags do you need to not have that energy around you? Because it does play a toll on you.
Yeah.
You need to have like-minded people and have people that kind of understand your, I guess, work ethic. and understand you, because it's those type of people that will lift you. And I think that's when you definitely have more potential, or you're just more likely to succeed, I personally think.
Well, I think so too. And that's, I mean, I used to do little events and things before, like at college, school council, whatnot, be like getting events together, raise money, whatnot. So it's always something I'd kind of done. But it got to a point where people were like, well, Katty will do it. Katty would do it. And it was never reciprocated. And it was like, but I'm supposed to use all my energy and, because I'm so good at it, and then what about me afterwards? So I stopped. Like, if it was like any get-togethers with friends, I'd organise it, find the restaurant, okay, this is where we're going to be, let's go. And then the last couple of times I did that, some people just were like no show, or just sent me a text saying, I'm sorry, I can't make it. And I thought,
oh wow,
do you don't see how much you've just disrespected me, do you? I'm like, okay. And just, I thought, no, and cut them right off. And even now I could probably say I've only got a handful of friends, because I thought I need to preserve my energy. And
it's
so
true.
These events, hopefully I feel comfortable now that I'm connected to people on the same wavelength. So yeah, I'm going to put them out there. There's some things where I think I will keep it like, I'm going to invite this person, this person. Like, hopefully you two are free for the next thing I'm planning, And so we have that safety, that safe place for us,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want it to form like a clique or anything, not like that at all. But I think sometimes there's space for some and space for others, and that's what I'm hopefully going to be creating over the next, going forward.
Love it.
In terms of business, though, going back to business, we talked about friends and cutting off them types. How important do you think networking is for anyone starting out in business?
I actually think it's really important. We, especially because of our unique, distinct situations that you might actually be in, we almost believe that we're the only ones. And then, we get in our feelings, overthink about what we're doing, or start doubting, especially if you're the only one in the room that kind of believes in what you're doing. Networking or even growing your circle can be affirming, and just help you realise, actually, no, I'm not alone in this thinking. I'm not the only one struggling with this, or, oh wow, this person's also doing the show. I mean, the last sort of studio where I did have my hat stuff, it turned out in another section there was someone else doing the same show. They'd heard about me, come up and was like, I've hired a van. Do you want to put your stuff in yours? And that's a good 100 quid's worth of cost that I saved because someone managed to reach out. Or, it's a really small world. Someone will know someone who can help you with this, that, or the other, but you won't know until you gather up the courage to maybe speak out and say what you need. Before, I would always be, no, I've just got to figure out myself. And if I don't, then I don't. And so many opportunities I've missed out on because of having that attitude. After the, getting help with my depression and stuff and learning to ask for things, I have my moments, but learning to ask is actually a powerful skill to have. So if anything I'd say, don't be afraid to ask. Trust that you are around good people that are rooting for you and will find a way to help you. You're not a connoisseur of bad taste. Believe that you've got good people around you and ask. You could be pleasantly surprised. They could have been sitting there waiting for you to ask all along.
That's true. It's really difficult to ask if you have come from a place of perhaps doing everything yourself or not receiving that energy back when you've invested so much into something. Not like you did it purposely or you did it to get something back, but then you do notice that when you're always give, and there's zero come back from that, it's just okay, I wasted my time here and this is what people are like and I just have to do everything myself. But yeah, it's definitely worth coming out of that. And again, it helps with who is around you and who are going to equally support. So yeah, it's definitely important who you have around you. We're on the same wavelength, girl. We're on the same wavelength.
I absolutely love it.
Coming out again.
I think that that wasn't very New York, though.
It was a generic, I don't know, all of them mixed together.
West Coast, moving on. So, yeah, it's so, what you're saying is, it's just resonating with me so much, because I think for a long time, I'm talking personally, when I had that mindset of I can do it myself. I don't need to ask anyone. I don't need to share my secrets, because then they're going to go off and do something with them, and I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
But then if you are much more, what's the right word? I guess if you do build a network of supportive people who you can trust around you, then you can start to have those conversations. You can start sharing ideas, and you can start bouncing around things, and you can ask for advice, and you can offer support. And you do feel that it is that safe space where no one is going to rip off your idea, and no one is going to go and tell someone else or laugh behind your back or whatever. So more and more now, in fact, it is a default for me to want to share things that are happening and get the opinions of people who I really trust, rather than just keep it to myself and just keep struggling and doing it and learning through my mistakes. So I'm hoping that more and more people are feeling like that and will feel empowered to do that as a result of listening to this conversation as well. But it's changed the way that I operate massively, and has not just changed it, but been a real benefit to how I operate in my creative space anyway.
It's really nice to hear. That's good. That's good to hear that. Really good to hear that.
We cannot ever tie Katty down to one particular area. Like, this lady is, as Sareta said, just multifaceted, like doing bits and bobs all over the place. So as well as all of your realness in business, you also have another focus, passion, and you produce these beautiful bright prints, affirmations, which you post on your Instagram feed, yes, and which Sareta has on her shoulder there. Yes. So you've got amazing affirmations. So some of the ones that really stuck out to me were choosing myself, supporting myself, believing in myself, and I'm done with surviving, hell-bent on thriving. Yes. What was the motivation behind you coming up with these prints?
I missed doing something creative. I mean, I am creating stuff, but I missed the arty creative stuff. Like, since closing the studio, which was 2016, I hadn't made anything. You know, the only thing I'd done is, like, I customised some IKEA shelves and sprayed them gold in the house. You know, but I hadn't made anything, and I missed it. And I thought, well, people had been commenting that they really like the posts that I put up, and I thought, well, I can actually, I've got a setup that I can turn these into prints. And so I just did that, and that's what I wanted to do. I thought there's something to be said by having something to look at. I did Tamu Thomas's Sovereign program, which she launched last year. And one of the things she wanted us to do was have a kind of cherish corner space to you, but somewhere quite visible, not like in the corner of your room that maybe you have to, but really something. So even now I've got it here, and it's the main thing is a Vian Ema poster that I've got. I think that I am one, and I've got that there, and then my little bits and bobs, and it gives me a little every time I look at it, and I thought I'd like to give that feeling to other people, so that's why I started it. And I've got a couple of mine on my desk over there. So yeah, and I thought other people might like it, and turns out they do. Happy days.
Yeah, we do. I love this print. I was like, I can't wait to put it up. But I'm actually going to put it in a different frame. This is temporary. I like to have the whole borders and do it properly. So yeah, I'm going to. Out of your own prints and your own affirmations, which one is your favourite and what does it mean to you?
Darling, I'm fucking owning it. A, because it's a swear word. I enjoy swearing. It's stressfully for me. I will always do it. And yeah, I think it was from when I decided to use that one, it was the turning point for me of just accepting that this is me. There's always been a kind of underlying cultural, family, work, like day job, whatever, of who I should be, who I am required to be, who people want me to be, and always feeling in myself that I'm coming up short. And it was like, no, I was never coming up short. For whatever reason, these factors, whatever, couldn't handle who I was, or who I am rather. So in order to do the things that I want to do, my future goals and things, I need to own everything about me. So yeah, the fact that I don't have a posh accent, so when I'm doing things, I talk like this because I was raised in South East London. Yeah, I don't have a size 8 figure because I like the food. I was raised here, so I don't have the standard stereotypical African wants, like, oh, I must find a husband. I'm wanting as a woman because I'm not married, and why am I not having children? It's a choice. It's all these things, just like, this is who the fuck I am. I'm going to own it. When I own it, it's much harder for people to try and get their digs in. For a long time, I had it covered, but then when the depression that kicked, it all kind of fell apart. So it's almost like having to grow myself back together again. That's one of the reasons why I did Tamu's program. It was like I wanted to get me as I am now and be able to crack on. I know, have the tools to help me when there's low moments, because it's not going to be a constantly happy phase, is it? Life happens, so we have and it's like, I want to go forward, owning it and being able to handle it. So yeah, that one. That's the one.
I love it. And that's my favorite too. That's why I got it. You're listening to the Women Who Rebrand podcast. Honest and humorous conversations all about the natural and individual transitional phases people experience to grow, start over, or rebrand to become their most authentic selves. Hosted by former mummy bloggers Sareta Fontaine and Chioma Olaleye, and guest featuring professional rebranders. You can find us on Instagram at Women Rebranded. What in the world?
Oh.
Yes. I think we need to get some echo behind that. Like, we need an effect on that. I love it. It just needs a little bit more. Next time. But yes, so what in the world? So each episode, Sareta and I do a segment where we talk about something that's going on currently, and we ask our guest for their thoughts on this. So something that I found was there's been a recent study that's been done by Dojo. Dojo's a payment provider. And they were doing some research into the best cities for women-led business startups in the UK. Because now that restrictions are ending, businesses are opening back up, there's more startups happening, I guess, more people willing to venture out. So this research, which was referenced the British Business Bank, found that for every £1 of venture capital investment in the UK, female founders get less than 1 penny, while male founders get 89 pence.
What?
Right, inequities, like massive gap. It also noted that only 32% of UK businesses are female owned, and 17% of those were founded by women. So women are taking up a tiny, teeny little bit of space in the business world here. But the focus of this was like, which are the parts of the UK where women-led businesses can really fully thrive? And so let's think about this, right? UK is a big place. Where do you think the top, so we're going to talk top 5. Where do you think those top 5 places were? Where would you pick out of the whole of the UK? What cities would you pick, Katty, as places where women-led founded businesses can truly succeed?
London.
Okay.
Birmingham, Manchester, Bristol. I'm debating Brighton or Liverpool, but I don't know. A bit biased with Brighton because I really like it, but then quite gentrified.
Okay. Listen, that's good enough. Those are some really good cities, and I would say, I mean, some of those would probably feature in my top. Sareta, what do you reckon? Where would you choose?
Well, Katty stole all my answers. So I was going to say...
We can agree, you know.
True, it's not a competition. London, Manchester, London, Manchester, Birmingham. I would say Brighton, because Brighton's quite quirky, like you said, but a bit gentrified, but I can see them supporting women more than other places. Is that 4?
Yeah.
My geography is not very good, so this is like a test. I can't think of another place. I'm just going to randomly pick out... I'm going to randomly pick anywhere in the country, like Yorkshire or something, just because I don't really know geography. Yeah.
Okay. Katty, what you going to add another one in the mix?
I was thinking Edinburgh, but I don't know.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems quite cultural, has its vibe.
Yeah. Okay, right. But both of you featured, so London, Birmingham, Manchester, Brighton, those are the ones that both of you said. Right. So let me enlighten you as to what this top 5 is, okay? Mm-hmm. Top spot, Chelmsford in Essex.
What? That's round the corner from me.
Hey, that's where you... Isn't...
Yeah, that's near me.
It's like near there.
Down the road.
Chelmsford. So 40% of businesses which are set up in Chelmsford lasted for a minimum of 5 years. 36% of females in Chelmsford are self-employed, one of the highest percentages in the whole entire list. Okay. Next, Worcester and Carlisle.
Oh. Okay.
Right. What? Okay. So again, 5-year survival rate, quite high. 40% self-employed female workforce. Carlisle, so you said Edinburgh, Katty. Now, my geography isn't great, so I don't know how far Carlisle is from Edinburgh, but Scotland anyway, repping. So, yeah, okay, we've done that.
Well done,
fine. Fourth, York. Sareta, you said Yorkshire. But
no,
York,
that's completely different.
As a
York
city,
and Yorkshire, completely different things, aren't they?
But that came in 4th place. And in 5th, Derby.
Oh.
So, top 5, where's London? Where's Manchester? Where's Birmingham? Where's Bristol? Where's Liverpool? Like, what? I'm
to be
so
honest,
confused.
I think this report is a crock of shit. I mean, who were they asking?
There was some index that they used, so they took stats from the businesses in those cities, in all of the cities across the UK, and created some index, and these 5 rated the highest, apparently.
But we know, because we all, I'm sure, you both lived there, I used to live there, we know how miserable Londoners are. If you get asked a question, they're going to be like, number 1, why are you asking me? Number 2, it's none of your business. Number 3, stay out my business. So, do you know what? Out of those results, I'm still going to put London as number 1, just because they didn't want to answer the questions.
Yeah. I mean, I normally, when I used to go on the tube, I'd have a tube face, which blatantly said, don't fucking talk to me. Not interested. It worked.
Do Do you know what I saw the other day? I don't know if it was a tweet or something, but it was someone that was like came from up north, and he was on the tube, and he dared to smile at like people, and they were like, "What is this person on smiling at me?" And when I went to Manchester Uni, I found it really odd that people would say good morning if they passed you on the street. I was like, what are you talking to me for?
Yeah.
Like, you're about to rob me or something. What is this? So yeah, we know that Londoners are not quite friendly.
The friendliest.
They just want to feel safe with you before they talk to you is all.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're just rude.
Yeah. And we play on it as well. Like I mean, it is my go-to reason for
what, rudeness?
For
I mean, if that's your goal.
It's a brand.
No. Let me clarify. So and this is like ridiculous, but for a while I was like, why don't guys approach me? Like, why do they not approach me? I'm hot. Like, why do they not come and ask me for my number? And then I looked at my face in the mirror, and I'm literally just like, if anyone dares to even look at me, I'm like cutting them with my eyes. Like, so of course, who is going to approach me? And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay. Yeah, because you hot, girl. You're hot. I would approach you.
You are.
What? You're hot.
Thank you. Right, so that was What in the World.
Yes.
Sareta.
Words of advice. This is the last segment of the discussion of the show. Words of advice, Katty. Advice for those thinking about leaving their 9-to-5 and starting their own creative business. Would you have any words of advice for those people contemplating stepping out of the rat race?
Don't just dip your toes in. Jump. You know, like just like when you learn to swim, I'm using a water analogy, but you know, even when you learn to swim, you get in, you're told to get in, and you know, have the paddles, have the support of the plastic arm rounds around you as you learn the moves. Think of community as a one armband. Think of any kind of courses you might take up, such as mine, on the other armband. But no, regardless, never mind the courses. But think of them as your support as you get in and learn the moves. No one knows it right at the beginning. The amount of different iterations of this business I had, I tried live teaching over 12 weeks. I was going to do a coaching program. what was the other thing? I was going to do a membership. All these different things I was trying over the past couple of years, and then we had lockdown and stuff, and I thought, no, now I've settled on self-paced courses because I like doing other bits and bobs. So it's like setting myself up so I can do those little bits and bobs. So just jump in, but don't be afraid to ask for the support and pick it up. It's not a failure, and even get rid of that word, that you don't know anything yet. It's a failure if you don't even try for yourself, because you are worth the effort. So yeah, dive in and get the support around you. If they're not around you, get some. Ask for it from someone else. This is not always family. It's not always friends. But it's friends you're yet to meet.
I love that.
Oh my God, my eyes are getting teary. That was so good.
I've got to remember this. We're recording it, right? Yeah. My notes. I said that. That was really good.
I think I'm good. On our blog page, at the very top, we have a favourite episode. I think I'm going to have to bump this up to favourite episode. Have the full recording up. It's been a good one.
It has.
Thank you so much, Katty. I've enjoyed speaking to you. We're going to have to get you back on the show because all of our favourites, we keep on saying that. It's going to just be a complete
I'm up for it. I've been waiting for an invitation, frankly. When you decided to do your read, I was like, they've stopped doing it. And then you got in touch. I was like, yes!
Yay! We're new and improved. And we rebranded and grew based on trial and error. And we are here. So where can our amazing audience find you and find out more about your courses?
My website, Instagram, message me there. I'm on LinkedIn sometimes, but it's mostly Instagram. Or you can just send me an email straight away. Quite open. So yeah, mostly Instagram and a bit of LinkedIn, and then direct to the website. But I'll be changing the links up this weekend. So yeah.
Okay. Fantastic.
Brilliant.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
It's been incredible.
It's been fun. It's been fun.
It has.
Lovely to finally talk to you both.
Yes. And we will see you at afternoon tea.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you so much, Katty.
Thank you. You take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Women Who Rebrand was brought to you by Sareta Fontaine and Chioma Olaleye. If you like what you've heard and you want to hear us again, don't forget to subscribe or follow wherever you usually catch your podcasts. We're available on all streaming platforms, including Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Breaker.